Welcome to Overdrive AF, the official podcast of Overdrive Fitness. My name is Teddy Gerzon, and I'm joined by Gina Marie Gerzon.
Yo.
What is up? I know you guys heard just like a kind of slight hesitation in me trying to speak real quick, and that's because I just burped up the chili we made over the weekend.
Huh.
Which is perfect.
Kind of perfect.
Perfect for what we're going to talk about today.
I think you added a little bit too much of your jalapenos. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, probably. But I love it spicy, so I guess you could say the rest of your family not so much, right? So
It's like 50-50.
yeah, actually it is 50-50. It is 50.
We have like my dad and my brother who are like on the bottom end of they can't handle anything spicy. I'm middle of the road. And then my mom and my sister-in-law and you, of course, you're like the top end of the spectrum where they like it really spicy.
Hell to the
So
yeah.
we kind of fit all around.
I'd say spicy foods
Yeah.
are probably one of the few things in this world that make me sweat.
That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, but like I could be outside in 95-degree weather and the moisture on my head's actually my the hair product running down my forehead.
But that's exactly what it does.
I
Because
dig
of
it.
yeah.
Perfect in the winter, especially if like, you know, most people get congested, so clears up the sinuses. At least that's my excuse for throwing a bunch of hot stuff on there. Funny story, I remember Joe DeFranco saying one of the first pieces of nutrition advice he got was this guy in the gym told him, he's like, if you want to lose weight and get shredded, then put hot peppers on everything. And I forget the exact pepper that he said, but basically it was just like, he's like, I look this way because if I get Burger King or McDonald's, I throw my own peppers on there. He's like, if I eat chicken and rice, I throw my own peppers on there. He's like, and that spicy foods will help you burn off all the fat. And Joe was like 16 when he heard that, and he was like, okay, buddy.
I mean, it does help, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's like minimal.
Yeah. So, cool. I guess let's just get right into what we're going to talk about today. So, what exactly was it again? It was meal prep hacks, right? That's what you had said. So, meal prep hacks. Like, last week we touched on how this is like, there's pretty much a time where almost everybody has fallen off track and they've failed in achieving their health fitness goals. And I'd say oftentimes it's a lack of preparation, right? So we want to, mainly Gina wants to talk more today about some meal prep hacks that, you know, can get you to easily achieve your goals, right? So why don't we lead off with what you had top of mind?
Yeah, sure. I mean, in regards to our goals, and like last week we spoke about two really important things that would help you as a fat loss hack and help you not only now but in the long run. And again, developing habits. This kind of goes hand in hand when you talk about, you know, wanting to lose body fat, wanting to gain lean mass, muscle. To make your time, because our time is very important to us, and it's we never get it back, and it's expensive. So because it's crucial to have that time for many of the things that are important to us in our lives, and our health. It really should be important, and I think at different times in people's lives they realize just how important our health is, their health is. So along with the habits that we were discussing, those two of the main habits that we were discussing last week, it kind of ties in. So preparing our meals, getting healthy meals, time-efficient meals, meals that are quick and ready to go, things that you can kind of grab and go that day and throughout the week. Taking that hour or 90 minutes maybe on one of those days and and prepping food for several days in a row. It doesn't have to be for all week, because for some people that could be quite overwhelming. I think even just choosing a day, choosing one day of the week, possibly either middle of the week if some people are off in the middle of the week, or maybe on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, giving yourself that hour to 90 minutes to prepare several days worth of meals. Making yourself a very specific grocery list, maybe that night before or that morning of, so that way that you can kind of jet out and have that time to prepare these delicious and healthy meals. You end up saving money, right, in the long run, and that's always good for single people, for people who have moved in together, for married couples, for families, especially on the go. Saving time and saving money is literally priceless. So along with, allotting that hour to 90 minutes, or maybe even up to 2 hours of time that you can take in the kitchen, prepping for everyone, storing, freezing, packaging. This is huge. That little chunk of time gives you so much more in return, right? Again, making that grocery list to help you prepare. What about buying containers? Make sure that you have plenty of containers that you can pack these meals and these snacks up for several days in a row, and storage is great. What about appliances? Specific appliances, like we love our appliances. Our air fryer, our crock pot. Some of you have an Instapot, or maybe look into one of those, because again, if you're short on time and maybe you didn't have that time to prepare, you can kind of throw things together and it's actually cooked very, very quickly along with the air fryer. What else did I mention? A sheet pan. Even if you guys have a couple of larger or smaller sheet pans, if you have all of those ingredients ready to go and prepped up, usually sheet pan dinners can take, I don't know, anywhere from like 20 to 40 minutes, maybe. That's nothing in comparison to the time that you're going to save, and the fact that you're going to feel so much better, so much healthier, so much more satisfied, less stressed. So take the stress out of it. Delicious meals. You can find so many meals online, recipes for sheet pan dinners, for crock pot dinners, for Instapot dinners, for air fryer dinners, lunches, whatever, meals. And remember, we want to cook for days at a time. So if we can cook for several days in a row, freeze these things, refrigerate these things, prep your breakfasts overnight. Overnight oats, chia puddings, blend your protein shakes ahead of time. So all you need to do is literally grab and go. Have fruit cut up. Have vegetables cut up. Pack them in plastic Ziploc bags. Have things prepped for Monday, for Tuesday, for Wednesday, breakfast and lunch, maybe a late lunch AM snack. A PM snack before you come to the gym. Have these things prepped and ready to go. Your kids are going to want certain things. Your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever might want certain things. I don't know, maybe your coworkers swap things for lunch. I don't know. What do you got today? All right, let's switch. Make it healthy, make it fun. Variety is the spice of life, as they say, and variety in your foods, variety in the flavors, variety in your choices, colors, textures, things like that. That's what's going to keep you on track, right? The same thing over and over. We could be creatures of habit. We have some of our members that are. They might eat the same thing all the time, every day, for most of the year. But then at some point you do get kind of bored, I would say the majority of us, and it's good to bring that variety back into your day, into your week, into your month. More variety, more nutrients, diverse nutrients, better health overall, better nutritional profile, better health profile, and you get where I'm going with that. So I would say definitely prepare for several days in a row. Use those different types. If you guys haven't invested in one of those, get onto Amazon. They run deals all the time. That Instapot, that crock pot. Teddy's been really loving his chili lately. All the crock pot meals that we make are normally set for us for several days in a row. Like, we'll make tacos one night. We'll make bowls one night. We'll make sandwiches. We put things in for breakfast. We put things in for lunch for the next day. And then that could be our dinner. It's a soup or something brothy, a stew type thing. So there's several different types of meals. Like, the ideas can run the gamut here. I mean, you don't have to be a culinary educated and graduated chef to realize that this shit is good. Like, it's digestible, it's palatable, it's nutritious, it's delicious. I mean, Teddy eats everything, so that's easy. But I happen to love a lot of different things too. So even with those picky eaters, it tends to satisfy even the pickiest of eaters. So just find what everybody likes, and you can modify what you need to. So those 4 pieces of equipment will save you a hell of a lot of time. And let's touch back on, prepping things ahead of time so that you have your breakfasts and your lunches and maybe even dinners for the next day or several days. So prep your breakfast ahead of time. Have your fruit and vegetables cut up for snacks and lunch, and maybe use that day before or 2 days before meal. All my Italian people out there, Sunday, make your gravy. Throw in all your different types of meats. If it's beef, if it's chicken, if it's a plant-based protein, like, there's no reason why you can't do that. The sauces can be used for different items, whether you make pasta for the kids, whether you want to throw it over rice. You have it with a meatball hero or something like that. There's no reason why you can't make wraps with that. A bowl of some sort. That's 4 different types of meals, or 5, I think, that I just mentioned from that one pot of gravy or sauce. If you end up making it without the meat, you just make different sauces that are healthy and nutritious, tomato based, whatever. Give yourself variety and get creative with it. Buying things in season and on sale, frozen vegetables and frozen fruit, there is no reason why you can't find things on sale. They're just as nutritious. Those things, just because they're frozen, they're all packed at their kind of primary ripeness and the peak of the season, and they're flash frozen. Cranberries the other day, for I think a 16-ounce bag, were 99 cents. I bought that. I threw it right in with some butternut squash. I roasted that shit. It was delicious. A little bit of pumpkin pie spice, a little bit of cinnamon, salt and pepper, and we made this delicious chili, which lasted us for days, lunch and dinner. And guys, you can throw that shit over your eggs in the morning if you want to. Extra protein, a little spicy, maybe not so spicy, and we had that sweet and spicy and savory kind of thing going on. Teddy had his rice with his chili. There's no reason why you can't find, even in the pickiest of people and even in the people who have no imagination, you'll figure it out. Lettuce wraps, gluten-free wraps, like, make it fun. What else? Even looking at your fridge and trying to really alphabetize the fridge so that you can kind of go in and go out. I got my vegetables, I got my fruits, I got my proteins, I got my dairy, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. So start to itemize stuff. Those of you that like to have a lot of structure, or maybe that you don't have that much structure, start to itemize your refrigerator. Start to itemize maybe your pantry. Start to itemize your drawers and things like that, so that you have what you need. You can go in and get out. Go in and get out. Get your food prep done, and you have the rest of the day, the rest of the night, the rest of the week to just chill, eat, go, read a book, get into a bath, get the kids bathed, I don't know, whatever, run to a soccer game, run to a basketball game, one of your kids has a wrestling match, make it fun. what else did I want to talk to you guys about? I think I've already hit so many things. If you have a lot of something left over and maybe you want to freeze it, think about freezing those things. So make it for several days in a row. Maybe you made 2 or 3 different types of meals. Boom, that's another thing. Freeze it. Prep it for the day, prep it for that week or that weeknight or that weekend so that you know if you're going to serve it on Friday, maybe you need to defrost it on Wednesday. So you have it for Friday because you have something already ready for Thursday. So start to think about those things. We're all about having a head if we need to freeze things and defrost things, and have the appropriate cylinders and storage containers or containers, heat-proof, freeze-proof, whatever, that it's appropriate that you can store it appropriately and it's safe, and you can heat it up appropriately and it's safe and it's servable. I don't know, I'm hitting a lot here. I know you're kind of just, but so those, I would definitely say that those are several things that you guys can work on even right now today to pretty much get your shit together and have more time for the really, really, really important. Our health is important, yes, but the other important things in our lives that maybe we haven't had enough time for lately. And I think that that's everybody. Doesn't matter what your status is, whatever. But I mean, those things have definitely helped us out quite a bit. We're at the gym a large portion of our day. We have a lot going on for a very large portion of our day. So we try to be very efficient with our time throughout the day so that we can unwind and get ready for the next day. So, being prepared is huge. Having things set up ahead of time, is priceless, is huge. And that's about it.
I mean, there's really no excuse for not even attempting to do it. I know one of the things you mentioned was having the right containers. It's all you really need is Tupperware. But if you want to get fancy, if you go in the Tupperware aisle in the grocery store, or at least the aisle where the Tupperware is, you'll see they actually have. It'll say meal prep containers. Like, not even like your regular Tupperware. It'll actually be like a bag full of like the black containers with the little sections that are portioned out or whatever you want to call it. Like, they're divided up in these little sections with the clear tops. Like, all that really is just regular Tupperware. But because more and more people are starting to prep their foods ahead of time, you're starting to see this same thing that's been out forever just relabeled as meal prep containers. So, I mean, if you want to just get ahead of it and maybe you don't have Tupperware to use, go ahead and go buy those, right? I mean, you don't got to go fancy, but I mean, if at the end of the day it is just Tupperware, so if that's what you need in your head to feel like you prepared, then then do it, because you're not going to break the bank by getting any of that, right? And you're going to use it over and over and over again, so you've got to have at least a week's worth, We love our crock pot. I mean, like, it definitely saves us a ton of time. It allows us to pretty much always have dinner ready without having to go home and spend an extra hour or two cooking, so.
And that becomes several different types of meals, right?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
that could be the brothiness in that crock pot becomes, a sauce for the next day, the next lunch. It can be a soup for that night or that afternoon or whatever the case. Like, things always end up being several different meals. And don't be afraid too to, take those shortcuts. So, like, read the ingredients. If you know that, say, your grocery store makes a kick-ass roasted chicken, or there's already kind of grab-and-go proteins that are cooked with minimal ingredients, you can throw that on a salad. You can throw that into a sandwich on top of a bowl. anything, a wrap, whatever the case, as part of your breakfast, as part of a snack, if you need extra protein or something like that. Just look at things that are already pre-done. Sometimes the shortcuts are the best thing. If fruit is cut up, which we have members that do that, they end up grabbing and going for the cut up fruit varieties, those big cups or pints or quarts of fruits, cups, pints, quarts of different vegetables. Like, there's really no reason why you can't. Even the glass containers that can serve as something to heat up, and you can still freeze in that too if you need to. So what's going to be most versatile to you, you know?
Yeah, so just make sure you take the time to prepare, and I mean, you all have time. You all have time to do it. Some of us have a lot more time than others, right? But there's different methods to get your meals ready so that you're staying on track throughout the week. For people that have little to no time, or people that have plenty of time, just find what works for you, right? Even if it means that you hire a meal prep company like Heated Inc., right? So there's always a way, right? So you just have to really just take a step back, look at your situation, figure out what your budget is, as far as time and money, right? Because both those are going to play a huge role into whether or not you are going to be cooking for yourself, or if you need to hire somebody to do it for you because you don't have the time since you're working a lot. Whatever it is, there really is no excuse now to not do any of this. Anything else to add for meal prep hacks?
Nope, I think we covered everything.
So that's all we have for you for this episode of Overdrive AF. Definitely review this episode for the list of meal prep hacks. I'll do my best to edit in the video episode of this of this podcast episode, the video version, I should say. I'll put it on the screen, all the things that Gina listed that you can get and need in order to do your meal prep hacks, right? So that being said, we are out. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week in another episode of Overdrive AF.